Every once in a while, a player comes in that just seems to make the jump to the next level. Steph in 2013, Derrick Rose in 2011, Josh Giddey to 15 years. Usually, there's a lot of factors that go in to determine what makes a high potential player make that actual jump to the next level. Like in every superstar's life, there comes a point where they have to make a great postseason run to just put a hand on the league and say, yeah, we're here. Jordan 89. LeBron in 2007, Luka in 22. But there's also what I like to call a World Cup syndrome, where it seems that one of the players who plays for national team for the United States seems to make the craziest of jumps to the next level the following season. Let's take Steph Curry in 2014. He also, he had a great couple of years for Golden State Warriors prior to that World Cup, but playing in World Cup with Kyrie, with James Harden, with Anthony Davis, he wasn't particularly the first option. The following season, he won his first MVP. What about Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose played in World Cup in 2010. Next year, youngest MVP ever. And I probably should make a video about him too. And that brings us to Tyrese Haliburton, who's off to an amazing start to his season and he brought Pacers to the final of in-season tournament yesterday. After a not so good experience with the US national team, everybody kind of expected Anthony Edwards to make the jump to the next level, and he obviously did. But Tyrese made that leap so much more bigger. You know, the term superstar has been thrown around so loosely recently, but I truly believe that Tyrese is on the cusp of breaking into that tier of actual superstar players. I can say with confidence, if he doesn't get hurt this season, the Indiana Pacers will be top 6 seed in the East, and also Tyrese will be All-NBA first team, which is huge. He has been that good. I'm trying to put him in historical context here, and I can't think of any comparison. You can leave a comment about who you think he'll remind you of. Obviously, from matching with Dame yesterday, I think his closing ability, his clutch gene reminds me of Damian Lillard a lot. And he did the Dame time yesterday. This season, Indiana Pacers have been the best offense in the league, in history of the league. The offensive system just allows them to just be in games. Whenever game comes to a final couple of minutes, they just bring keys to Tyrese Haliburton and say, take us there. And he does. And that's the first sign of a superstar. A second sign is his leadership skills. The Indiana Pacers, they execute, they listen very well to their point guard. And like a true point guard, Tyrese Haliburton is managing that team very well. Because of their pace of play and his lack of turnovers, I think of Steve Nash's potential comparison. Steve Nash in his MVP years especially. But then when you look at numbers, Steve Nash in his MVP years was averaging, 18 and 10? Tyrese averaging 27 and 12 on 52, 44, and 88. Almost 50, 40, 90. That's insane. Another potential comparison can be Houston James Harden with how efficient he was in the isolations. But at the same time, Tyrese plays with much higher pace, and I believe his vision is a lot better than James ever was. But James is still a great passer, don't get me wrong, but just Tyrese has that natural point guard type vision. One more thing. Look at that thing. It's disgusting. I love it. People usually talk about someone who shoots well. They look at how their form looks, and obviously we have Klay Thompson, who has one of the purest forms of all time. We got Devin Booker with the beautiful form. We got obviously Steph Curry. Tyrese Haliburton probably has one of the weirdest jump shots since Lonzo Ball, I think, but it works. We talk about how beautiful something looks and compare it to their efficiency. Maybe it's a bad example, but Kyrie has one of the most beautiful handles you'll ever see. It's wide, and when you see Kyrie dribble, you're like, oh my god, this shit is beautiful. But probably the most efficient dribbler of all time would be Isaiah Thomas, and he had almost nothing flashy about his handles, even though he's one of the best ball handlers of all time. People won't give much credit to Isaiah Thomas as the best, but he was very efficient. That gets me to a point where Tyrese Haliburton might not be the prettiest jump shooter out there, but that shit going in. You know how hard it is to go bucket for bucket with one of the best long-range shooters in Damian Lillard? And Tyrese, for a stretch of the game, went bucket for bucket with Dame, and when it came down to the wire, closed out the game with that ugly-ass grandpa-type shooting form. But if it works, it works. As a proud holder of Haliburton stock since he was drafted, I can proudly say that I am happy for Tyrese Haliburton. He got paid in the summer, and this was not a distraction at all, Zion, but it was rather a motivation for him because he got to work, he did the work, and he does the work. I can't wait for the game tomorrow and for the rest of the season to see how Tyrese is doing. And I definitely can't wait for what's coming in April. Thank you for watching. I see you next time.